Now we're going to get these out of the bucket. First off, we're going to start with the piece that's been fully submerged. This one here I'm going to flip over while I clean the other one. But if you can see there, it really does do a job on it. It works really good. So down in the bottom there is the other piece. I'll get that one out and we'll flip that one over. And we'll let it soak for a bit while we prep this other one to start working on it. So that, okay, the paint's still on it. It was never going to strip that off, but that is pretty damn good considering on what we started with at the beginning of the week. I'm going to give that a little bit of a scuff up with the wire brush over there. We'll rinse it off to get rid of any of the remaining vinegar, and we'll get it prepped and dollied up to start welding it back in the panel. Okay, so we've given this a good key up, or sorry, scuff up with the wire brush, and it's come up pretty damn good. So to get rid of that flaky paint, we've got a little handy pot plaster thing there. They're only fairly cheap from Super Cheap. Not something I'd want to try and get a heap of rust and stuff off with, but for this last little bit of paint, it should be fine. If I can get this on and find my other one. I'll clean some of this dust off. So just got to get in there with the small air sander and give it a couple of little bits of hits there. But we've got, which I don't know if it'll get close enough for us. So in here, there's the holes where it blew through, and a couple in the corner in there. Tiny little pinhole up there, and one down in the bottom there, which we'll probably just fill with a little bit of weld. And then that one's ready to get primed up and dollied up and ready to weld back on. Okay, so we've given that a quick sand where the last little bits of paint were, and now, while it's going to sit for a little bit, we'll give it a coat with the metal green again, just to stop it flashing off again, while we get in and do the other one. Now, metal green do, or the instructions on the metal green do say that it is weldable, and they say paintable with any conventional paint system. I still like to give it a sand with some coarse grit paper before I put any kind of primer on it, but this will stop the piece flashing off between now and when I get a chance to do anything with it. Because the minute you pull it out of the vinegar, start handling it, it does tend to go yellow and get a layer of rust on there straight away. This will find any last sort of bit the blaster and the vinegar might not have gotten out. And knock it on the head. Okay, so that's that one done. I'll grab that other one out and I'll leave this over here to just dry off a bit. Where are we going to pop them? So now we'll grab that other piece out and see what it looks like. Okay, so on that one you can see where I've turned it over, the piece that was exposed to the air after I turned it over, it's flashed off. So give that another swirl. like I said, this piece I'm not really worried about because that's the piece we're going to cut off and make a new replacement section for. Alright, give this a bit of a swirl in the vinegar again. Okay, we'll go give that a bit of a wash, see what we can wash off of it, see if it has to go back in again. Right, so this one actually did clean up really well. It's not going to go back in. It's got that bit of a yellow blush to it from the surface rush starting to flash off here. So what I've got to do is where we cut all the spot welds off on the front face, I'm going to go through and sand those down flush so we can dolly it up. Any of the ones that we drilled through, we're going to plug up with the MIG welder and then grind flush again. And this piece I'm going to take off so I can template it and make one up from there. Okay, so while we were sanding that, we've uncovered the spot welds along there to take off that rusty piece. So we'll release that so I can take it to work and use the folder to make a replacement piece. Should be it. through. Those two middle ones. Alright, so that's what we've got to make up, and we can weld it back into there. I think that we're done. Alright. So this piece is all cleaned up. Now I'm going to try and get this square. Pop this down so I don't spill it. Okay, this edge up here. That one's not bad. Okay, so that's straight enough for now. Now I just have to work out which ones of these have to be welded back up. So we're going to weld through those when we put the new piece on. So these bottom two, and was there a thin one up here? No, so these two are pretty much the only two we have to weld up. Alright, I'll get that one cleaned up and give it a bit of metal green. Okay, so there's a fair bit of pitting, but it hasn't broken through anywhere. So we've only got the other one to repair, this one to plug up, and then we can bolt it all back together, which went that way. And our rusty piece, which we have to make up, can weld back in to there. So zoom out a bit. So basically we're all done, we're all prepped, short of making this piece up, which will go and template up now. Pretty simple shape. I just need to do it at work so I can hold it in a vise and try and fold this edge over and get a decent shape to it, and then we'll weld it all together. Right, so we've got a piece of card, and that is a little bit short, and the spot weld from factory actually only ever just hit the tip of it. So we're going to fold that piece over the same thickness as this one, because there's plenty of room on the fender for it. So we've worked out from the fold up has to be 8mm. So we've got a square edge, and I've marked 8mm in and 8mm up. And we're going to lay him on here. Come on. To there. And we'll just have to guess that piece there that's missing. So up to here is where we need to allow the 8mm. From there around, it works out to be about 6mm, and that's going to go from there all the way to the point up here. So about there. 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 So that's the edge that we have to cut out, and we have to fold to. And this one came down to there and basically went straight out from there. Okay, so we'll find a piece of scrap steel, we'll trace that out and cut it, and we'll get on to the next bit. Okay, so we've got a bit of scrap metal there, and we've got our paper template. Get it where we want it. That'll do. Okay, so we'll mark a line there, there, and there. I think that's all we need. I'll mark one up here. Alright. So first things first, the fold line on the bottom, mark our line across that. And then we're going to come back the 8mm from there. And mark our fold line there. And that's going to be cut off. This one had to go straight up. And alright, so now we need to do one more cut on our template. So this extra I added there to allow for the fold. We'll now get rid of that one. Back to, should be that side of the line. Then we'll lay our template back on here. And we'll mark that line. So what we've got is fold and fold, and they're going to have to be they're going to be folded up. That one we're going to cut. And that top outside trace we're going to cut the line off, just so we know where we're going. Alright, see if we can give this a shot now. Yeah, we'll use the straight snips first. So we want to remove the line, so to there. This one, we have to cut this corner out to the edge of that. And take him out. This one we're going to take it up to there. Just remove some of this bulk. For now, might remove some of this bulk here too. So I can get in there with the snips and go up that way. I just got to find my other ones and we'll cut that off. Okay, so I'll put a glove on so maybe we won't cut ourselves like I did on the end of this finger. Now, come on. And fine tune that, or trim it up at the end with a sander. Be nice if I could actually cut it a bit more accurate. Missed. There's that one. And see if I can do this. Oop. want. Not the one I want. Let's try this one. Better. So we do that. And then this one to go straight. Alright, I'll dress that up with a hammer and I'll see how it looks. Right, so we've got our template, got our repair panel roughed out. So still a little bit of tuning to do on that top edge, but I'll do that once I've got it all folded up. To fold that bottom edge and this edge here, how it curves around, at work I've got some thicker pieces of strap steel and I'm just going to cut a slot into it, 8mm deep and 6mm deep or whatever it was there with the cutoff wheel, and we can use that to just pry it up and work our way around the curve. And I'll probably sand or die grind a bit of a curve into that one there to match that. So, and we'll see how we go, and we'll get them folded up and dressed up, and then we'll get it welded back onto up here once we get it in. So we're going to leave it at there. I've got these to take to work tomorrow, and I found a bit of brass there so I can put it behind there and weld up those holes that are blown through, and we'll take that so we've got something to work with. We're going to clean up and leave it there. We'll get in and show you what we do when we start folding that up through the week, and we'll get another couple of short videos out then. Alright, so for now, thanks for watching, and see you next time.